Call Congress back into session after a brief recess. Congresswoman Edwards.
I have an amendment to the amendment. I'd like to withdraw my previous amendment to the amendment and insert the following amendment to the amendment. Strike, quote, business, close quote, and insert, quote, board, close quote, after, quote, commission, close quote, colon, strike, quote, and strike the remainder of the sentence, close quote, and insert, quote, board, close quote, after, quote, commission, close quote.
Second.
Have a motion and a second on an amendment to the amendment. Is there any discussion on that? Congressman Shaw.
Well, and so then the final reading in line 55, still the same line?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So after your amendment to the amendment, your proposed amendment will read how?
Commission board, colon, gaming commission board.
Is there any more discussion to the amendment to the amendment? Seeing none, all in favor say yes.
Yes.
Any opposed? The amendment to the amendment passes. Now we are back to the amendment as amended. Is there any discussion to that? Seeing none, the question is, shall the amendment pass? All in favor say yes.
Yes.
Any opposed say no. Was there a no there?
Sorry. Yes was my vote.
Yes was your vote. Thank you.
Sorry for the muttering.
It happens, Congressman, it happens.
Better than this.
Okay, we are at the end of General Order Day 2. I believe there's no more amendments to 15, ONCR 1521. Madam Clerk, is that it? Okay. We are now on bills and resolutions on third reading. The first one under that heading is ONCA 1591, an act to amend and restate the Osage Nation Gaming Reform Act of 2007, 14 ONC Section 12-105, and to establish an alternate effective date. I am the sponsor and I will reserve my time for close. Are there any other members that wish to speak for or against this bill? Seeing none, I will close. I entered this bill because one of the main reasons was I believe that the nation needs to get better at how we populate our boards for tribal enterprise boards. We need to, it's laid out in the Constitution that the chief appoints and we confirm. But it also says that we establish the law, the tribal enterprise laws that are created in the executive branch. So one of the main reasons I entered this was to heighten awareness of our board selection and confirmation process. This was talked at the table probably at least 3 times. And we had good discussion, and I think that we agree on a lot of the concept that we need to do a better job, but we never could come to a consensus to send it out. So I struck that portion of this bill out, amended it out in committee, so it now reads as it originally read before I place this amendment in. I also amended a portion in this bill about the gaming plan of operation. That is still currently in the bill. So what you're voting on here is 2 things that I amended in. One was for the gaming board to include in the annual plan of operation a report or a page that's ongoing of all of the projects that they have in action. Because sometimes they'll start a project, such as the 2 new casinos that were built, one in Ponca and one in Sky 2, that span over, the project spanned over 3 to 4 years, 3 years possibly. But there was no language that said that that had to go into each consecutive year's annual plan to give us an idea of where we were on that project. So we'd have to go back 3 books to look at what we approved doing. So this amendment will ask them to place in the annual plan the ongoing projects that have capital monies invested in it. I think it's a need. This body changes membership every 2 years. It will just help Congress know what's going on in the annual plan. So that's one amendment that's in there. And the other amendment that I put into this is that the gaming plan of operations is a legally binding document on the board and the executive management. The reason I put that there is because when the Pahasco Casino project here out on the corner of 99 and 15th Street was done, we had a meeting about it, and they said, well, you know, you just approved the annual plan by resolution, and resolutions aren't legally binding, so, you know, we really didn't have to put it in there. Basically was the idea or the thought they left us with. After that thought was left on the committee table, I don't know if that was verbatim, but that's what they made us believe, that what they were thinking about the annual plan. I thought it important for that document to state that it's a legally binding document, even though it's approved by resolution. So the 3 things that I wanted to do to this bill, to the Gaming Reform Act, one of them I amended out, and those other 2 that I just explained to you stayed in there. And that's all that's been amended in the Gaming Reform Act. I hope that you can support that. I think it'll help us keep track of what we're doing with the plan a lot better. Thank you. The question is, shall ONCA 1591 pass?
Congressman Mason,
Yes.
Congressman Norris,
Yes.
Congresswoman Pratt,
Yes.
Congressman Shaw,
Yes.
Congressman Supernall,
Yes.
Congressman Walker,
Yes.
Congresswoman Buffalo Head,
Yes.
Congresswoman Edwards,
Yes.
Congressman Yeck,
Yes.
Congressman Maker,
No.
Speaker Whitehorn,
Yes. ONCA 1591 passes. There is an alternate effective date. Is there any discussion to that? Seeing none, the question is, shall the alternate effective date pass? All in favor say yes.
Yes.
Any opposed? The alternate effective date passes. Yes, we'll do that. Okay, ONCA 1591 is referred to enrollment. We are now on ONCA 1593. Congressman Yeck is the sponsor. How do you wish to proceed?
Wait my time.
Is there any other member that wishes to speak for or against ONCA 1593? Seeing none, the question is, did I not read that? Excuse me. I'm going to go ahead and read the bill. An act to provide an appropriation for cultural donations in the amount of $79,500 for fiscal year 2016 and to establish an alternate effective date. Congressman Yeck waived his time. Any other member wish to speak for or against? Seeing none, the question is, shall that bill pass?
Congressman Norris,
Yes.
Congresswoman Pratt,
Yes.
Congressman Shaw,
Yes.
Congressman Supernall,
Yes.
Congressman Walker,
Yes.
Congresswoman Buffalo Head, yes. Congresswoman Edwards,
Yes.
Congressman Yeck,
Yes.
Congressman Maker,
Yes.
Congressman Mason,
Yes.
Speaker Whitehorn,
Yes. ONCA 1595 passes. That 1593 passes. There's an alternate effective date on there. Is there any discussion? Question is, shall it pass? All in favor say yes.
Yes.
Any opposed? Seeing none, the alternate effective date passes. ONCA 1593 is advanced to enrollment. We are now on ONCA 1595, an act to establish a matching grant to promote the Osage Nation for artists, art, historical and cultural organizations up to a maximum of $15,000 per grant, and to authorize and direct the Osage Nation Foundation to establish criteria for the grant, to review applications and determine grant recipients, and to administer the grant funds, and to operate and to appropriate $80,000 to the Osage Nation Foundation for grant funding. Congresswoman Edwards is a sponsor. How do you wish to proceed?
I'll waive my time.
Are there any other members that wish to speak for or against this bill? Seeing none, the question is, shall ONCA 1595 pass?
Congresswoman Pratt,
Yes.
Congressman Shaw,
Yes.
Congressman Supernall,
Yes.
Congressman Walker,
Yes.
Congresswoman Buffalohead,
Yes.
Congresswoman Edwards,
Yes.
Congressman Yeck,
Yes.
Congressman Maker,
Yes.
Congressman Mason,
Yes.
Congressman Norris,
Yes.
Speaker Whitehorn.
Yes. ONCA 1595 passes and is referred to enrollment. We are now on ONCA 1597, an act to require the Osage Nation to utilize drug testing protocols to ensure the proper collection and interpretation of test results for the results. Excuse me, I think that was not right. Interpretation of test results for the benefit of employees and to establish an alternate effective date. Congressman Shaw is a sponsor. How do you wish to proceed?
All close.
Are there any other members that wish to speak for or against ONCA 1597? Congressman Walker.
Well, I participated in this committee meeting whenever we discussed this bill, and occasionally we have a member of this body that has a high level of expertise in a certain field, and this is one of those instances. Congressman Shaw was a former medical review officer, and he brought this to the table because he felt like it protected our employees. And I wanted to discuss a little bit more about the bill, and I reserved my comments that day because we were up against adjournment, and I just wanted to express then, ran out of time, so I wanted to express now that whenever bills like this come before us that provide our employees protection, I almost certainly will support them, and this is one of those cases. I'm sure Congressman Shaw will remember this part of it. If not, I'm going to go ahead and mention that there is likely to be a small increase in cost throughout the course of a year. Could be anywhere from $5,000 to $8,000. But I think that $5,000 to $8,000 potential increase in cost is worth the increased level of protection for our employees in this type of situation. And I would also say that if a shortfall is recognized, it's not going to be anytime soon, and we would have plenty of time to appropriate additional funds for this testing to take place. So I'll be voting yes, and I would urge your support. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Congressman. The question is, shall ONCA 1597, excuse me, Congressman Shaw.
I'll waive my time, Speaker.
Thank you. The question is, shall ONCA 1597 pass?
Congressman Shaw,
Yes.
Congressman Supernall,
Yes.
Congressman Walker,
Yes.
Congresswoman Buffalohead,
Yes.
Congresswoman Edwards,
Yes.
Congressman Yeck,
Yes.
Congressman Maker,
Yes.
Congressman Mason,
Yes.
Congressman Norris,
Yes.
Congresswoman Pratt,
Yes.
Speaker Whitehorn?
Yes. ONCA 1597 passes. There's an alternate effective date. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, the question is, shall the alternate effective date pass? All in favor, say yes.
Yes.
Any opposed? Seeing none, it passes. ONCA 1597 is referred to enrollment. Give me 1 minute, please, to talk to the clerk. I would like a brief recess for a moment, please.
Second.
All in favor, say yes.
Yes.